me, O Yahweh, for I have walked in my integrity. I have trusted also in the I am, therefore I shall not slide. Examine me, O Yahuwah, and prove me. Try my reins and my heart, for thy loving kindness is before my eyes, and I have walked in thy truth. I have not sat with vain persons, neither will I go in with dissemblers. I have hated the congregation of evildoers, and I have not sat with the wicked. I will wash my hands in innocency. So will I compass my altar, thine altar, O Sanini Nanini, that I might publish with the voice of thanksgiving, and will tell of all thy wondrous works. Yes, Yahweh, I have loved the habitation of thy house, and the place where thine honor dwelleth. Gather not my soul with sinners, nor my life with bloody men, in whose hand is mischief, and their right hand is full of bribes. But as for me, I will walk in my integrity. Redeem me and be merciful unto me. My foot standeth in an even place. In the congregations will I bless thee, I am. Psalms chapter 26. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have swayed the thoughts of men's hearts, and let them not lead me astray from thee, my God. Establish thou me and my seed, that we go not astray henceforth and forevermore. Jubilees chapter 12 and verse 20. Yes, good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We all praise and thank God for all that he's done. Praise the Almighty. Yes, even the I am, the creator, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Oh, we thank God for all that he's done. He's been a merciful God. Even that great mercy that he had toward us, and while we were yet in our ignorance, he brought us his word and taught us the true and righteous way, which is his laws, commandments, ordinances, and we have joy because of things. His word, statutes, yes. All praises to the Most High, yes. Yes, and also we thank God for those of you who are with us, been with us since the beginning, and those of you that have been with us here's and there's about. And we thank God for those of you that have just subscribed, and all of you that are about to subscribe, calling those things that are not as though they are. Yes, you're walking with Mr. Clay. I'm Mr. Clay. Now we're in the book, still in the book of 1 Samuel. 1 Samuel chapter 25. Yes, 25. We're in that chapter. And we're here, and we're just praising God, because I say 24, not 25. I'm sorry. 24, not 25. And that's the next one we shall be with. And we just thank God for all that he's done, and we thank God for the way the world is going, because you have to realize when wars and conflicts happen, the Most High is situating things to fit his narrative. Or should I say, what he have put or purpose for mankind. Now, these things, they cannot change the way their hearts are. Nor the white supremacist, nor the one who hates those of Palestine, or those who hate those of Africa, or whatever. He cannot change his heart. But God can show him who's God. And if he cannot acknowledge God, then he's going to have to really suffer the fate of Pharaoh. Pharaoh and Rome. Even Rome could not acknowledge God in the way God. Rome was a part of the Great Inquisition, in which the Sephardic Jews, they were black, yes, they try to tell you, people trying to be who they're not. They train their children to be who they're not. Yes, even in this land where they take those that we have welcomed in, as far as the man of color, the black man, the brown man, he's allowed them in, which were Mongolians, and some of them were actual Indians. They made it, and this is why you get some of the features of some of them. And even some of them are mated with, should I say, Spaniards. But the fact is, who was here? Black folks, period. I mean, no matter how much they try to intricatize, that's a new word I made up, they try to make it so intricate as to the history and try to tell you how they got. But you have to realize that these people were trained and convinced who they were from should I say, priests in Canada, priests here in the United States, indoctrinating children, because a lot of them were killed off. But either way, even so, thousands upon thousands of those who look like me and black or what have you were killed off. And the lie could be even told to seem as though it's the truth. But for more information, turn to Curie Mayo. He's right here on YouTube. And also, you have other, should I say, historians that deal with those books and try to help you to understand what happened back then and how we came to be the way we are today. And many of us, we can't let go. The history has been so marred and so infused and everything else, just like the Bible. You have to realize the Bible was written in, should I say, the Hebraic language, Eber. It was written that language, period. Now you have the Greeks. They come along and what they do, they started, the words we read today are after a Greek translation, period. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just there. But you can look at the doings of these people and what God says as far as his laws, and you could just about discern, instead of just being lazy in the brain or just saying, oh, that's what it is because that's the way it reads. We're not going by that. We're going by the description of the words that's happening. These are the descriptions that we're given. Now we have to take that description and see whether it matches with what they're trying to say. And many times it doesn't match. Especially in those teachings that we need to have us understand, and then to understand the language, we can see. You can see through the actions of the characters in these books what is really happening. And you can carry it from there. Now, I don't know what they were thinking back then, but today we have more common sense. Put it that way. And Samuel chapter 24 and verse 1, and Saul took 3,000 chosen men out of Israel and went to seek David and his men upon the rocks of wild goats. Them goats are something else. If you have goats, you know what I'm talking about. And if you have seen videos on goats, you know what I'm talking about. These goats are very agile. And if you don't have a screen on top of your barn or whatever that you're holding goats in, they'll just jump right over and crawl out. And goats just about eat anything. They're not scavengers, but they'll just about eat cloth, whatever. They'll eat it. And he came to in verse 2. Well, let's go back to verse 1. It came to pass when Saul was returned from following the Philistines that it was told him, saying, behold, David is in the wilderness of En-gedi. Now he was getting ready to go slaughter David and his men in the town in the last chapter. Yes. He was going to slaughter him, but David prayed and asked God should he leave that town, because I'm sure David did not want those people to suffer because of Saul's jealousy toward him, which really his jealousy and his anger toward God is what it was. Now, verse 2, then Saul took 3,000 men chosen out of all Israel and went to seek David and his men upon the rocks of wild goats. And he came to the sheep goats by the way where was a cave, and Saul went in to cover his feet, and David and his men remained in the sides of the cave, right there where they are. Verse 4, and the men of David said unto him, behold, the day which the I am said unto thee, behold, I will deliver thine enemy into thine hand, that thou mayest do him as it seemed good to thee. Then David rose and cut off the skirts of the robe privily. In other words, he knows this is what God had said. I will deliver thine enemy into thine hand. But what is good? I mean, this is your king. This is what David is seeing. His mindset wasn't like that, to be jealous or envious of other folks like that. And it came to pass afterward that David's heart smote him, because he had cut off Saul's skirt. And he said unto his men, the I am forbid that I should do this thing unto my master, for the I am anointed to stretch forth. The I am's anointed to stretch forth my hand against him, seeing he is anointed of the I am. Now Saul did not have this same view that this man is anointed to be king. I'm stretching forth, boy. If I stretch my hand toward the anointed of the Most High, I stretch my hands toward God and tell him this shouldn't be. But he's trying to take his thoughts of anger toward God and sublimate them toward David, is what he's doing. So David stayed his servants with his words and suffered them not to rise against Saul. But Saul rose up out of the cave and went on his way. And David also afterwards went out of the cave and cried after Saul, saying, "My Lord the king." Really, that Lord means my king. It really should just be king. This is old English. It's the way they had brainwashed each other. That word Lord. Yes, that's one of the words, brainwashing words, into making a man seem as though he's more than what he is. And when Saul looked behind him, David stooped with his face to the earth and bowed himself. David still acknowledged him, still honored him, still reverenced him as the king of Israel, because he is not king yet. And if he didn't, he would honor him as one who was king and one who knew God. Yes. And bowed himself. And David said to Saul, "Wherefore hearest thou men's words, saying, Behold, David seeketh thy hurt? Behold, this day thine eyes seen how that the I am delivered thee today into mine hand in the cave. Some bade me to kill thee, but my eye spared thee. And I said, I will not put forth my hand against my king, for he is the I am's anointed. Moreover, my father, see, yea, ye see the skirt of thy robe in my hand, for in that I cut off thy skirt of thy robe, and I killed thee not. Know and see that there is neither evil nor transgression in my hand. I have not sinned against thee, yet thou huntest my soul to take it." He is angry with God because he was foolish before the Most High. As we've said before, second-guessing God. And this is where you got the New Testament from. People second-guessing God. When God says, I change not. And we should take that face value. Yes. And the I am judge between me and thee, and the I am avenge me of thee, but mine hand shall not be upon thee. In other words, he stayed because he says, no, I'm not going to do this. God have to do this. As saith the Proverbs of the ancient, wickedness proceeded from wickedness, or wickedness beget wickedness. But my hand shall not be upon thee. You have to look at that word beget. These are old English words. When a man begets a son from a wife, that means he laid with the woman. He begots. God doesn't lay with anybody. God does not have a wife. He does not need the things that he's given man and animals. He doesn't need that. He's the creator. And he knows how to cause those things to reproduce after their own kind, even man. He doesn't need that. That's why one reason I believe he just said to the angels, don't lay with these women. Don't lay with the children of men. But they did it anyway because they got a little excited, because maybe they saw a little act going on, and who knows? So many things that could have happened in their heads. Who knows? But we can speculate, yes. Speculate a little bit. Don't mean it's not true, but we can speculate as to what happened, because a person that watches porn would be tempted to do the same things in so many ways. Now, he says, as saith the Proverbs. Now it says, verse 14, after whom is the king of Israel come out? After whom dost thou pursue? After a dead dog? After a flea? In other words, I'm nothing compared to you. Why are you jealous of me? Why are you so upset at me? Is it the spirit within you that's evil against God? Why are you? I'm just a flea. And the I am therefore be judged, and judge between me and thee, and see and plead my cause, and deliver me out of thine hand. And it came to pass, when David had made an end of speaking these words unto Saul, and Saul says, is this thy voice, my son David? And Saul lifted up his voice and wept. In other words, he couldn't help himself. This man was so engrossed, this spirit had him home, had him so tethered to it, he could not let it go. He wept. Some part of him said, I don't want to do this, and some part says, you will. They have swayed the thoughts of men's hearts. Not only the evil spirits, but the good spirits too. They can change your heart and you don't know why you did something. It's not mental illness. It's oppression, depression. All these things which plague your mind. Some of it is good and some of it is evil toward you. And it came to pass when David had made an end of speaking these words of Saul. Saul wept. Okay, verse 17. And he said to David, thou art more righteous than I. For thou hast rewarded me good, whereas I have rewarded thee evil. Does that change his heart? We shall see. Thou hast showed this day how that thou hast dealt with me, for as much as when I am had delivered me into thine hand, thou killest me not. For if a man find his enemy, he will let him go well away. Wherefore I am reward thee good, for thou hast done unto me this day. One thing about it, when you know that you know that you know you're doing what the Most High would have you do, your enemies, you're gonna put coals of fire upon his head. This is coals of guilt, coals of shame. But at the last resort, sometimes you just have to take them out. Yes, you do. And with this, honor thy mother and thy father. They may be wrong. Honor them anyway. Don't go against your mother and your father, no matter how gross or messed up they are. The best thing to do is just cleave to the I Am himself and do those things that are right before him. Even if your mother or your father or your mother come against you for such things, you can say, hey, I love you, but I don't love your evil, and I'm not doing your evil. What do you need? How can I help? How else can I help you other than this? Honoring them, respecting them. Yes, God is pleased with that. And this is his king. This is whom God have appointed over him. Yes, this is whom God have appointed. And it's a shame how things, even the way of the heathen, his hierarchy, his kingdoms, and all these are patterned after these things of Israel. And these things are even written, the ideology of these things are written and translated by Greeks, Latin, people that spoke Latin in those days, and they're going to make them fit to what they think is good. To a more or less or a greater degree. Yes. So you're going to have to really find your way through the word of the Most High. You really are. We don't speak Hebrew. And even the Hebrew is all messed up because of the pretenders. The ones who come from another country trying to beat Jacob. So you're going to have to really discern and ask for wisdom through his word and really read with understanding. And it takes more. Sometimes you have to read it over and over again. Yeah, you say you understand English and you're an English major, but it's not all what you think it is. The truth is right there. It's just the fact is, some of you get into the meanings of words instead of getting to what is said here. What are the actions? How does the action of the people match the narrative that is given? This is how you can tell a lot of things. Yes, you can tell a lot of things through that way. Instead of getting you don't need no PhD. You don't need to be a doctorate. Matter of fact, you need to leave that alone, because the fact is, these people can tell you all kind of meanings and origins of words and all these things, and next thing you know, they done got you all straightened and messed up. Oh, that's not what it means. Well, what is it supposed to mean? He said it in English. Come on here. Let's get it right. And if we do those things that are pleasing unto the Most High, even his statutes, commandments, and laws and ordinances, we will have that which is peace.
Walk with me.